What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well. Just wanted to make another video here about something I've looked for a long time. Kind of gave up on ever thinking it would happen, but one popped up recently and I grabbed it. Wasn't the cheapest thing in the world to get, but I've been looking forever for this item. As most of you may know, I do most of my vintage collecting with different publications and advertising, ephemera, and not the expensive cards. And I just love that kind of stuff. I love anything that's kind of a snapshot in time, call back to the past, things that solve mysteries, just all kinds of neat stuff about collecting that particular stuff all the way back to Babe Ruth, But there's something I've been looking for a long time, and I have searches for it, all that kind of thing, just in case something pops up, and it just never does. The guy I bought this from has only seen 2 copies in the last 30 years. And the only reason he let this one go is because he finally found another one that was in a little better shape. So even though this one has some small tearing, I wouldn't have it if it didn't. He would have just kept this, but he had some small tearing in this thing, and he just kept looking over the years and decades to try to find a copy he would like more, and he finally did about almost 20 years ago, I think now. He found the other copy, and he never let this one go until now. So when I saw it, I was like, oh man, I had to do a double take and just couldn't quite believe my eyes. And like I said, it's not cheap for what it is, but I just had to have it. I mean, it's something I'll maybe never see again. And then something else popped up within a week from that after all these years of searching. So kind of a crazy coincidence, but a bad listing led me to that thing going way too cheap. Now, I think Pee-Wee Reese passed away in 1999, if I'm correct, but it all has to do with, of course, the famous 1953 Bowman color card. Now, this, of course, is not real. This would be worth a fortune if it was in this condition as a real one, but I don't have a real one. But I wanted a representation of the card in my collection, and of course I needed something to show and talk to you guys about. But this is a really nice representation of it. Really cool, but I don't have a real one. The only real ones I could afford would be just so thrashed. It just wouldn't be the kind of thing I would want in my collection. So I just got this reprint to have a representation. But of course, the famous card with Pee-wee flying up above. And this is just, become a really expensive card because it's so famous and popular. But this is a 1953 card, of course, but this photo was taken much earlier. I believe it was taken in the 1946 spring training. There are other people that think it's even earlier, but this photo was taken by David Peskin, and the earliest uses were in magazines. And there was a 1950 Police Gazette magazine, which is this one right here. But it's just him and not the runner. But that's from 1950, so that was 3 years prior to the card. And he said, when he was asked, that the guy that he's jumping over, that's posing on the ground there looking like he's sliding in when he's just laying there, for the picture, was Stanley "Frenchie" Borgary. So Borgary was up with the Dodgers up until early 46. So I believe this was taken in spring training of 46, just from the research that I've done. It could be earlier, but that's the most likely. Because the first time this photo was used was in a magazine called This Week Magazine. It would have been in different cities, and it was 7 years before that card came out, but it's just incredible to think about kind of all this, but I've always wanted This Week magazine from 1946, the earliest use of photos from this photo shoot, and I finally got one. And I am stoked about it. Like I said, it's not in perfect condition, but it is complete. July 7th, 1946. This one's from the Detroit News. There would be different, cities this would have been printed in. But 1946, This Week magazine. Pee-Wee jumping overboard, Gary. Double play. Pee-Wee Reese pulls a fast one. For more on baseball, see page 19. So you see Board Gary there laying down. And there's our man. Pee-Wee Reese. The famous photo shoot from the 1953 Bowman color. So there it is. You can see slightly different foot position there, slightly different arm position. The artist could have taken a little bit of liberties, as they often did. There's quite a bit of differences in a lot of photos that were taken for cars those days, or it was just taken at a slightly fraction of a second different. But that's what I've been looking for. 1946, This Week magazine. This one is from the Detroit News. But these things are rarer than hen's teeth, guys. It is just ridiculous how tough it is to find that thing right there. So I finally got one, and I could not be happier about it. So there it is. Pee-Wee Reese in all his glory, doing his leap. That's the first time that photo was used, in 1946. Super, super cool. Just kind of can't believe I have one, but it's amazing. It's amazing. Like I said, it's got some tearing and stuff that the guy would have never let go of this. His favorite card is that 53 Pee-Wee Reese. So he always wanted one of these. A friend of his bought one of these back in '95 off a table at a show, and he wanted it, but he was super jealous, but his friend had already bought it. So he went on a quest for many years to try to find one. He found this one, and then got some tears, and he ended up many years later finding another one, and just recently decided he would let this one go. And I'm glad he did, because it's the only way I could get one. So this is definitely like up at the pinnacle of my vintage ephemera collection for sure. But there's one other thing that I can't believe. Within a week of that showing up, this showed up. And I wanted to wait till I got it to even say anything about it to anybody, my friends and stuff, because I just wanted to make sure it was real. There's lots of reproductions of this photo and stuff like that. I wanted to make sure this was real. But this is a matted up cover. It's that exact cover, just cropped down and matted up. This is the original cover. I've already checked it out. And of course I have the real one right here to match it up to. This is not a reproduction photo. This is the cover matted up and has a Beckett authenticated autograph on it. And of course he would have had to sign this a long time ago. He probably signed the magazine for somebody way back when, and then they cut out the front and matted it up. And let's check it out. So I ended up with two different pieces. There's the Beckett authentication on the autograph. Look at that beautiful autograph right there. Pee-Wee Reese. And there's our man jumping overboard, Gary. There's a couple little spots on this thing, but this thing is in unbelievable condition. It is not a full cover. It is cut down and, of course, matted. I'll probably have to frame these up somehow, but Pee-Wee Reese, real autograph on the actual cover from the 1946 This Week magazine. So I go from not having any of these all these years to literally having a couple different really special versions, a full magazine, which is what I've been looking for and never found. And now I have a cropped down cover with Pee-Wee Reese's authenticated autograph on it. It's just super special, guys. I just love this stuff. Now, I know most of y'all out there would love to have the card more than anything, but for me, it's this kind of stuff. I mean, I can go on eBay now if I had money and buy a whole bunch of different conditions of this card. You can go to shows and buy this card, but when a guy that really is an expert has been looking for this thing for 30 years and only seen 2 copies, and he's bought both of them, and I've never been able to find one, therefore I've never been able to acquire one. But now I have the magazine. I mean, this thing is almost 80 years old, guys. Almost 80-year-old newsprint. It's not even, you know, a thick paper magazine. It's newsprint from almost 80 years ago. It's amazing that it even exists, even though it's got a little condition issues. The one on the right has even less condition issues, and it's signed by the man himself. So kind of an amazing turn of events to get 2 of these within a week after years of searching for this thing. This has been one of my main targets in trying to find, you know, baseball vintage memorabilia in the way of ephemera. I have a bunch of, you know, Ruth and mantle pieces, all that kind of stuff, but not related to a card or anything famous like that. But this is the one I've really been wanting, trying to search out, and finally have it in a couple different forms. So a really cool autograph form and then a full magazine form. I just could not, I could not be happier. I had to share these with you guys. Finally got that autograph one in, and it just was a screaming deal because he didn't really list it properly. And I don't think anybody knew what the heck it was. But as soon as I saw it, I'm like, if that's not a reproduction, that is the actual cover. I messaged the guy. He said it was a magazine page, but I already know there is no such thing as a page. It only was on the cover of 1946 this week. And I got it in, checked it out. It is correct. It is original. And of course, to boot, I don't have to worry about the autograph because it is Beckett authenticated. That is a true autograph of Pee-Wee. I think it's fantastic. I love both these pieces. It's just awesome. But that's it, guys. That is what I wanted to share with you. A long time coming. Just kind of amazing. I finally found one, and I found 2. And they're different enough, and one's autographed to make having both of them, you know, make sense and be special. So super awesome, guys. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate you watching. I know it takes some of your precious time to watch any of these videos, and you know, I think less and less people are watching YouTube these days, so it means a lot whenever you guys watch and comment and everything that you do. So I am happy to do this for you and just share in this community. I really appreciate everything you do for me. So all right, that is it. I appreciate you guys, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.